Let's change gear now and focus our attention on cryptocurrency, Bitcoin in particular. Trading the coin has been made increasingly difficult this year. Shall we expect more of the same in 2022? I put that question to Simon Dixon, the CEO of banktothefuture.com. He joined me from the Isle of Man. Simon Dixon, it's always a pleasure to have you on Channel's Business Global. I know you're a busy man making loads of money. Can you please just sum up for us what 2021 means in the world of cryptocurrency?
Well, 2021 was a really interesting year for Bitcoin. It became legal tender in the first country in the world, which means that a sovereign government used it to become, acceptable for the payment of taxes and required for citizens to accept it for payment alongside dollars. It also dealt with some of the environmental challenges that people have around the vast sum of electricity that Bitcoin's consuming. So it moved to a lot cleaner energy. And it really marked the stage for the battle of 2022, which is where central banks all around the world will be issuing central bank digital currencies and competing with Bitcoin in terms of where people will park their savings, which I think is going to be a very, very interesting political currency war that's going to happen around 2022 and beyond.
Absolutely. I don't know if you read it in the headlines, but Nigeria has its own currency, e-Naira, which went down pretty well there. I've got to say, Crackdown, Bitcoin, two terms that go hand in hand. China, their central bank, announced that all transactions of cryptocurrencies are illegal. Are you concerned that more countries in the coming year will follow suit?
Well, really, we're going to have countries defining what their ideology is. So if you look at countries like El Salvador, they're deciding that they're shifting towards a more free market form of managing their money. So rather than having a central bank, rather than relying on the International Monetary Fund, and rather than solely relying on the dollar, they're deciding that they're going to allow the central bank to be Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's monetary policy is completely known into the future. Whereas other countries like China have decided that they want to move to and maintain a more communist ideal, which is central bank digital currencies, which is more control over money. And countries are going to define. Unfortunately, countries are competing for people's attention at the moment. And we're going to see this interesting situation emerge, because the central bank digital currency is all about control and Bitcoin is all about freedom. Which one prevails? Watch this space.
Yeah, we will have to watch this space and bring you on to talk about it. You got to the environment before me, because I do have to say that Bitcoin mining is becoming a concern to environmentalists, especially as we are trying to battle through this climate emergency. How are, leaders going to try and combat this, or is there a way around it?
Well, the Bitcoin electricity consumption is an important part of the security of Bitcoin. If you look at the environmental effect of Bitcoin's electricity versus the environmental effect of the entire central banking system, it's a challenging comparison to make, but Bitcoin's way more energy efficient and more environmentally friendly. The other thing to appreciate is that because people are rewarded with Bitcoin because they play the role of central bank, and rather than the banks receiving the money, individuals that mine receive the money, the most efficient energy is the one that will receive the reward. And so by innovating efficient energy, you end up with almost like a bounty program rewarding innovation, and those that have wasted electricity can allocate it towards mining Bitcoin, which then gives them a reward and moves away some of those more wastage as well. So I think the stage was set. And I believe that Bitcoin has an impact and a role, and it's a free market for people to develop cleaner forms of energy. Now, when China did the ban, a lot the miners moved to much cleaner sources of electricity than what was being used in China. So it already has had a carbon impact, and businesses that are looking to create financial products out of Bitcoin will also have their goals around meeting their responsibility climate change goals. And so you're starting to see ways of investing in Bitcoin that consider not just profitability, but also environmentally friendliness.
Absolutely. I know you are a Bitcoin man, Simon, but before I let you go, I have to ask about some of the coins. Other coins, perhaps, that you're looking to give us a heads up?
Yeah, so, the cryptocurrency industry is a bit of a minefield. I like to stick to the most used use cases. So Bitcoin is digital hard sound money and the best shot of achieving it. Nothing competes with that. You then have Ethereum, which is really building a network effect around this thing called Web 3.0, which is where you can have decentralized internets, decentralized metaverses and virtual worlds. And so it's got a lot of traction there. And then, of course, you've got the good old stable coin, which is where you can have the power of sending money around the world, but the stability of a traditional fiat currency like the dollar. And so those really, you don't need to go much more exotic than that. The rest is really roll the dice. It's a bit of a casino.
It is a bit of a casino. I think that's a brilliant way to end it. Simon Dixon, CEO and co-founder of banktothefuture.com and also author of Bank to the Future. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. Thanks, Simon.